Another police officer killed while the liberal media continues to vilify cops on behalf of criminals. Now, not much information is known on this one. All we know right now is that a Baltimore County police officer, a female officer, was killed last night while responding to a burglary call. This from the Baltimore Sun. Let me read you the first paragraph. A Baltimore County police officer was killed in a confrontation Monday as she responded to an afternoon call in Perry Hall, setting off an hours-long manhunt for suspects as police searched densely populated suburban neighborhoods. Now, as I record this segment for you, the suspects still haven't been found. Police are not releasing how the officer was killed, but it appears this was not gunfire. Witnesses, according to the Baltimore Sun story, police would not confirm what types of injuries were suffered by the officer, a 4-year veteran assigned to the Parkville precinct of the Baltimore County Police, not the Baltimore City Police. However, a witness saw the officer, whose name has not been released, get hit by a vehicle. Now, the officer is responding to a call for a possible burglary involving 4 suspects. A police spokesman, however, said, now that was the police chief, Terrence Sheridan. He said it was a call for a burglary with 4 suspects, but another police spokesman contradicted that, said the call was for a suspicious vehicle. Now, it's very easy for that to happen. This doesn't mean that the police are inept. What it means is that chief can be reading the initial 911 call. Then, subsequent to that, more 911 calls could have come in that said, it's not a burglary. It's just there's a suspicious vehicle parked in front of this house, this building. We think there might be a burglary being planned or pending or in progress. And so it's very common and very easy for those two things to be confused and conflated. Don't read into that as any kind of incompetence on the part of the chief, on the part of the spokesperson. And obviously, investigators are looking into this. It's a densely populated area. The local city councilman says, with a lot of streams, valleys, places to hide. Schools were on lockdown, apparently. Apparently, about 2,000 students were stranded in schools well into last evening. This is just terribly tragic. Another young, I'm assuming young, was on the job 4 years, police officer killed. Now, many of the roads had been shut down, and when a police officer is shot, when a police officer is killed by being run over by any means, it's all bets are off. The cavalry comes, surrounding departments come, they lend dogs and horses and helicopters. This is no different. Baltimore Sun piece here. Homicide detectives are working with aviation canine units and heat sensing technology thermal scopes to search for the suspects. At least one along Bel Air Road as night fell. And they said the dark will not hamper our investigation. We're going to be investigating this through the night and all day tomorrow. Of course they will. They're going to shut down roads. They're going to do everything they can possibly do, set up phone banks for incoming tips. They're going to find these people. They're going to find these people because the police really are that wall, that blue wall between the public and rampant crime and anarchy. And someone's going to kill a police officer. Well, they're going to kill anybody. That's why I'm a fan of stiffer penalties. Federal death penalty for the murders of police officers. It should be taken away from the state, sent to federal court. I know that's a very controversial topic, but we've got to make this. We've got to get serious about this. And maybe we should be deputizing all police as federal marshals, so the murder of a police officer can be tried in federal court and not be left up to local juries who are sometimes sympathetic to the criminals. Now, we see that happening even more often in the liberal media. Over the last couple of weeks, last week, we saw the liberal media crying for Hamas terrorists. We saw the liberal media simply just beside themselves, hysterical that Donald Trump dared call raping, murdering MS-13 gangsters animals. Well, this is a story from the New York Daily News. Now, the New York Daily News hates legal gun owners. The New York Daily News would love to see the Second Amendment eradicated. Very, very liberal publication. But here's how they're framing a story about a 21-year-old man who walked up next to an NYPD cruiser, an NYPD patrol car from the 45th precinct in the Bronx. His friend engaged the two police officers in the car in conversation while this genius took a photo with a firearm. He pulled an illegal pistol out of his belt, took a photo, and then put up some ghetto language, which I'll read you in a moment. The liberal media is bending over backward to make this guy the perp, the guy who posed with a gun near a police car. If he was a maniac, if he was a murderer, he would have shot them both dead. They wouldn't have even seen it coming. The New York Daily News is making him out to be the victim, and I'm going to tell you every word they wrote and just how infuriating it is on my longer show, Off the Cuff Declassified, today, right here on The Rebel. I want to bring you this really important content every day, and we're going to stay on this story about the murdered police officer until the suspects are hunted down and in custody or dead. I'd be fine either way. I want to do it every day, so please subscribe to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows. Go to the App Store, download the Rebel app, and go to firescottisraelplease.com, firescottisrael.com, and sign our petition. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.